Exciting morning. We're now just heading past Maroochydore towards Coolum, where we're picking up our new van. So this is the first time we've owned a van. So got the Caravan weighed. We came in pretty well. We just have to move a little bit of stuff out of the back of the car. A hoot. This is just absolutely insane. Exciting morning. We're now just heading past Maroochydore towards Coolum, where we're picking up our new van. So we've had a good run up from Brisbane this morning and heading up to Zone RV, where we're picking up our new 18'6" base caravan. We're towing it in our new Defender, which has done a good run, and we think we've got all the weights right. We're absolutely loaded up at the moment. Looks like we've got sort of half of our life's belongings stacked up here for putting in the caravan. But we're going to spend about 3 weeks up in the Sunshine Coast and the Gold Coast area doing a bit of a shakeout. So they like to hand over the van. That'll take a couple of hours this morning, and then they say take it away for a week or so, bring it back if there's any sort of little niggles or anything like that that we need to sort out. This is the first time we've owned a van, so we've booked a towing lesson, and we'll do that while we're up here in a couple of days' time, and we'll get everything weighed as well. We won't have everything in the van yet that we think that we'll need in the future, but a good place to start. See if we can get our weights right from the outset.
Arrived. Ooh, Leo, feet parking. Oh look, there's our cat. There's a garbage.
Next couple of days after we did the handover were a bit of a blur. I'm going to drop this segment in, which is, as you'll see, done a little bit considerably later, just some reflections on a couple of things, and then we'll go back to the sort of the sequence of where we did the shakeouts on the van. And to be honest, we were a bit loath to do walkthroughs or give the benefit of advice when we'd only just bought this van, and we're first-time van owners. So, so we were never really going to do a walkthrough, and this is not going to be a walkthrough video. This is a Zone RV base 18'6". It's not a base in the sense of being basic, because it's not. And if you've been looking at caravans, you'll realise that they are expensive, and all vans are expensive, but this one is certainly an expensive van. At this end of the van, as you can see, the first thing you'll notice, queen size bed, pillow top mattress. This one, we're in storage mode, so you can see the bolster at the back. So it's not a full queen bed. It doesn't really matter, okay? It just depends on what you're comfortable with. And this is a very comfortable bed. One thing that we absolutely love about the configuration of this van is a really simple thing. It's the storage, okay? And we particularly love these foot lockers. Now Zone have made these, I think, standard in their new lineup. They weren't standard in the base. We looked at it and it just made absolute sense. Sorry, they're probably just a little bit untidy. You know, your boots get dirty, mucky, sandy, and all of those sorts of things, and they get in the way, and they're also a step up onto what is a pretty high bed, and that's because there's a tunnel boot which goes all the way through. Bed sits up on that, yeah, and under the bed is storage. Now the other thing that people get tribal about is cafe seating or chase seating. For us, we just went for practicality when we ordered this van, and I'm looking at doing some work, not a lot of work, when we're on the road. We also want somewhere where we can sit, roll, maps out, like the planning of the maps. Some people prefer cafe seating. The chase style seating suited us. It gave us more room, a little bit more room, helped. Technology, okay. Personally, I would actually like an app or a controller where I could see all of the sources of the power coming in this van. But is it essential? No. So this has been absolutely fine. This tells me the essential bits and pieces. Grey water, the inverter when it's on, if it's working, and normally, and as I say, we're in storage mode at the moment, so that's showing 0 because I've just put the power back on. Okay, we have 400 amp hours of battery. It was 200 standard. We went for the 400. So far, we've found that the 400 has been adequate, and we've been out, and you'll see we've been out when it's been raining for several days in those deluges early in the year, certainly here in southeast Queensland. We were out in some of that for 3 days and not getting much charge in, and the 400 did the job. And yes, you've got to manage it a little bit. Okay, fridge, not the world's biggest fridge. Still got some wine in there, a couple of nice drops too. Not the biggest fridge, not the biggest freezer, but not shabby either. Okay, so we've actually found that it's been great. This van has a gas heater. I'm not going to go into it. Does the job perfectly well, but we've actually found that when we're showering in the van, the small capacity of this Truma system, it's been fine. We just learned to have short showers, to soap up quickly, and Paula and I stagger our showers. So, all right, here's the next thing. We went composting. Ooh, my goodness, hasn't this been another contentious tribal issue out there? We didn't know that. We would never change. This thing has been fantastic, and I'm not going to show you any more about sort of how it operates. But you don't need dump points. It does actually doesn't smell. We've got a washing machine. That's been great for small loads. Paula loves it. I love it too. Okay. Okay. Shower is huge. Okay. Right. It's been fantastic. Because this is also our drying room, it's been great for wet raincoats and Gore-Tex and all those sorts of things. Anyway, hope that helps. So it was a little bit drizzly this morning. Didn't matter, we went out, we had some coffee up at Matilda and light breakfast rather than in the van. And decided rather than sitting around, we'd gone for a walk out to the spit at Matilda. So that's a walk of only about a bit over a kilometre each way. Nice walkway, a number of beach entries and those sort of things. Be terrific sort of in the summer. Very pleasant flat walk, be good for for either a walk or a bike ride out. Nice wide paths. Thing that we've noticed, quite a few, as you'd expect, fish and chip shops. There's a trawler fleet here at Matilda. Good seafood in and around this area. For us, shaking out the van, the Matilda beach family holiday park, fantastic little park, not long ago been renovated. For us, easy to get in and out of at this stage, and we'll probably come back. It's just up the road for us from Brizzy at the end of the day. So pretty good for a weekender. We also did a caravan, half-day caravan towing course. They actually do it at the Marucci Multi-Sports Centre. There's plenty of car parking location out there, and again that's all of 10 minutes here from Matilda as well, and it's just simply a nice little location anyway. Yeah, just across the road from the holiday park is the Matilda wharf area. Lots of restaurants, a few little sort of shops and things like that. Very, very handy to the caravan park. And that was a good first 2-night shakeout for us. Then we went and did driving lesson. I didn't get any real footage of that. I just wanted to concentrate on a caravan towing and reversing sort of lessons. It had been a long time since I'd towed anything, and certainly nothing as significant as a 3.5 tonne van. So I thought we might do some lessons, and so both Paul and I got in. Got some reversing and some parking lessons, and that was fantastic. And I'll put a link in the YouTube video for anybody who's interested in doing it. I'd certainly recommend it. We also got the caravan weighed. We came in pretty well. We just have to move a little bit of stuff out of the back of the car. That's just a limitation on the rear axle of our car, something we knew about, yeah, it's certainly, it can well and truly tow the van, and it's got good overall capacity. It's just really quite impressed. The van was nice and balanced up, and no issues, and we've got a little bit of room to move. And then we headed over here to the Noosa habitat, and we've decided to sort of go 3 days off-grid to test the off-grid system of the caravan. And so far so good. Looks like we've got a bit of wet weather coming in, so it'll test our battery capacity, and then we've got to head down to the Gold Coast. So anyway, a little bit more about this site. It had some interesting reviews, mostly good. So we actually think it's fantastic, and we've actually picked an area. They've got everything. They've got glamping, as you can see. over there. They've got some powered caravan sites. They've got some waterfront sites, and then they've just got some completely unallocated paddock. Ton of wildlife everywhere. So roos everywhere, goannas everywhere, and kookaburras. So lovely backdrop, and we decided to put ourselves, as you can see, out in the middle of sort of one of the paddocks, looking out onto the nature area. You can see a bit of. The one thing I would say is that the more favoured sites down towards the water, and we've just sort of noticed that with the rain, some of those sites are a bit low lying and relatively light rain. So yeah, we just had some moderate rain over the space of about an hour, and some of those filled up. So I think we're very happy with where we are. That if you've got the capacity and you don't need the power, you might actually want to be in one of these more open areas. So if you have a look at the map, there are these sort of more open areas where you just select and find your own site, and for people, if you're set up like us, that might actually be more favoured. This is actually in a national park area, so it's an eco-tourism site. So you've got to be self-contained from particularly from a water and a grey water perspective, so you can't run your grey water out. They've got dump points, they've got all of those sorts of things. They've got good camp kitchen, neat little camp kitchen area. The older toilets and facilities are a bit basic. We don't need it. We've got a composting toilet and a little ensuite, which we're sort of very happy with in our van. But they've got all the other amenities. Here they've got a bar and a bistro with a bit of a brewery. The beer's okay, you know, it's not the best sort of brewery beer that we've had. We're booked in tonight, so on the weekends and busy times, they say you've got to book in ahead. These waterfront areas are very popular, as I was saying before. They're sort of the more expensive sites. So it's good to see that somebody else who's bought his own RV caravan, they're shaking out, same location as us, here at the Noosa Habitat. They've got a Summit, so ours is the Super Duper van, theirs is the Ants Pants Super Duper van, a little bit bigger than ours, carbon fibre, heavier than ours. So we're going to drive down to the Yamundi markets tomorrow, which we've been to. Go to Yamundi markets.
One possibility is Yamundi markets on Memorial Drive in Yamundi.
What's this stuff called?
Yaki or something?
Okonomiyaki.
I don't know.
Okonomiyaki?
No.
Okonomiyaki. No, I think it is.
Is it?
It's Japanese cabbage pancake.
Yummy.
Yum.
I'm not putting it in my mouth like watching.
Yeah, we really love Yamundi markets. If you haven't been and you're visiting the area, we suggest you come in. They've been around for sort of 30, 35 odd years, very, very established. But the main street of Yamundi is a lovely place, old sort of town. And if you're staying in the area, the Imperial Hotel is also a brewery these days. A couple of little cafes along and a couple of little basic sort of amenities. Come along, have a bit of a visit. A good little day trip, easy, it's only sort of half an hour from, 20 minutes, half an hour from Noosa. We've driven 50 minutes today from where we're camping with the caravan. So we just decided that everything was pretty casual on a Sunday, so we sort of got part of the way through the day. It was a bit overcast, a little bit more tidying up at the van, and decided to come for a drive out to a place called Harry's Hut, which is sort of off the beaten track between Gympie and the Noosa Habitat sort of campground where we're staying. So it was an interesting drive out, a little bit sort of, it's road, it's a formed up road, but reasonably rough, water, potholes, those sorts of things. Good fun. The Defender just absolutely killed it, of course, so there's no issue there. And yeah, look, you'd get in and out there in a two-wheel drive. Not ideal in some spots, particularly if it's slippery. But yeah, we thought it would be a good afternoon to spend a little bit of time away from the van. We're up in the upper reaches, sort of the Kalula River, and we'll have a bit of a poke around at Harry's Hut, which is sort of really only the last remnants of the house. Yeah, so the Harry's Hut area, it's got a day use area, a pretty good little day use area. You know, if you're having a picnic and those sorts of things. There's a canoe launching area into the river here as well. So and a camping area as well. So if you want to come down for a bit of a camp. Yeah, so a couple of the people in the area, I haven't gone through to bother people at the camping area, but they one couple actually got a caravan in, which would have been a bit tight, and they were saying that they bottomed out in a couple of spots. Yeah, it wasn't a particularly sort of off-road capable caravan, but yeah, about 10 sites in around the area. You require a permit for it, some facilities, drop toilets, those sorts of things. So yeah, not a bad little camping area if you know, if you had a camper trailer or tent and wanted to do that sort of stuff. Well worth the drive out. A little bit of fun. You know, didn't test the Defender at all, but it was a bit of fun coming in. We'll go back and get ourselves sorted out. We're going to have pizza tonight on the Weber barbecue, so enjoy doing that, and settle in for the evening. A little bit of weather coming in, you know, nothing completely over the top, but even so, just enough to dampen the afternoon. All right, well that's Harry's Hut.
Having fun.
Yeah. It's a boy thing. Jumping in puddles. Paula at the gin distillery again.